Hello everyone and welcome back to Pokemans. So we actually know what we have to do now. And by we I mean her. I have no idea. I do. But I've had no idea this entire game of what it is we're doing anyway. I mean, come on. I didn't play these ones. I kind of wish I did though, because it looks pretty cool. It's a good looking game. So that's cool, but you know, whatever. Anyway, yeah. This place. Were those Team Rocket grunts outside?
Yeah.
And they just let you in?
Yes.
It's no wonder they've never taken over the world. They suck at it.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, I really wonder what stops them from just picking you up by the scruff and throwing you out? Like,
that's weird. Like we're an animal or something.
I mean, it's just like, okay, so you beat their Pokemon, you're still a fucking 10-year-old shrimp, and he's still like a full-grown
But you still have
criminal.
your Pokemon. They don't.
So you wouldn't order your Pokemon to attack them.
No, but they can protect you.
I guess that's true. And if the anime is any indication, apparently Pokemon can come out their Pokeballs whenever they fucking want to.
Yeah.
Horse shit, that's what that is. The latest episode was cool. The one in the snow. With all the bonding.
Yeah.
It was bonding time.
Honestly,
And then everything went black.
It kind of reminded me of one where Ash was separated from his gang. I think in the first season, and he had all his Pokemon out, and they were pretty much snowed in.
Oh yeah, I
So the
remember that.
Yeah, it was like a really cute moment with them huddling together instead of returning to their Pokeballs and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that. There was one of the songs used that in like one of those music videos that were featured. Where does it even come from? Those Pokemon music videos. Like, did they just air on TV or
yeah,
what?
they are on TV.
Just like as in place of like commercials or something?
At the end of the episode. Like,
I don't remember any of the titles, unfortunately. I remember all the songs because a lot of them are in a Pokemon Puzzle League, like instrumentals.
yeah, they're also in the soundtrack, you know, stuff like that.
I remember those. They were good. Cool. I don't know. It just there have been times where normally I can see the windows entirely. Like I can just look over to my side and be like, "Yep, that's my audio," and "Yep, that's the game audio." Cool, and then I go back to playing. But there are some times where I legitimately forget that I'm recording a certain way. I think I mentioned this while I was playing, was it Kingdom Hearts? It had to be, because it was either Kingdom Hearts or Path of Radiance. Because FNAF World, once again, opens full screen, so you can't see anything, and that's stupid. But basically I looked at my audio, I think, on OBS, and it was not recording me at all, and I was like, oh come on, are you serious? I lost all this. Then I remembered OBS doesn't record me. OBS's job is to record the game, so I like panicked for no reason. So yeah, because Audacity was still recording me, and I'm like, I'm so stupid. Hey Farfetch'd. Alola Fetch.
Should have gone to Mega.
Yeah, Mega Farfetch'd, Alola Farfetch'd. Mega Alola Farfetch'd. Those music videos are good times. That's another part of the reason why Pokemon Puzzle League is so much fun to play. The music is great. I guess Tetris Attack too. Tetris Attack also has pretty awesome music. With the Yoshi and all his buddies. But the thing that Tetris Attack doesn't have that Pokemon Puzzle League does, which makes Pokemon Puzzle League more fun to play, is just that there's more oomph in Pokemon Puzzle League to sending trash and receiving trash and clearing trash. I feel anyway. Man, that game's fun. Too bad one of my controllers broke. Sucks. I'd be playing it more, but yeah. I bought a Nintendo 64 controller online. I don't know how long ago. But it's a obviously it's a third-party model. They don't make them anymore. unless it's like a specific manufacturer or some small group of people that still does like real N64 controllers. But this one's a bit different, where like the normal N64 controller has the 3 big legs, basically, or whatever you call them. This one has 2 very small ones for where your hands hold, and then one really long one in the middle. And it's a really cool one. I forget what it says on the front of it. Tecmo, I think it says. I could be wrong. The controller's been really good. I've used it for a long time, but while I was playing Donkey Kong 64, it just stopped working. Like, my Kong just stopped moving, and I could not get them to move again. So I would have to grab the cord that goes into the controller and, like, push it in or twist it around in order for it to read that the controller's there. And I had to do that all the time. And so eventually I just can't use it anymore. It's part of the reason why I stopped playing. Part of the reason. The other reason I stopped playing N64 games is because Pokemon was fun to watch, and now I have Xenoblade, so I don't really miss it too bad. So I'm not in a bad spot. What's today? September 2nd? Yeah. Because the Nintendo Direct was yesterday. Yeah. And that was the 1st. Okay. So today's the 2nd. My birthday was on the 19th. August has 31 days?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. 20, 21.
What is he doing?
14 days, not counting today and not counting that other day, 12 days. So since my birthday, I've played Xenoblade Chronicles X 12 days, and in those 12 days, I've racked up 99 and a half hours of playtime. Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm not even amazed. I'm not even
No, me
amazed,
neither.
to be completely honest. That's about what I expected, if not a bit more. The game's amazing, and it's such a time sink. The original Xenoblade, like, in and of itself, by the time I finished it and saved the game at the end credits,
Hop it.
I had about 100 hours in that one as well. So, nailed it. It's like, I remember, I think one of the funniest things in terms of time is with Skyward Sword, the developers said that you could play the game for like 100 hours. I'm like, no way, and then I did. Because I think my first playthrough of Skyward Sword took, I want to say, like 60 hours maybe? Or maybe 50 something. And my second one on Hero Mode took less, but put together it was still like 90, almost 100 overall hours. So I'm like, they were telling the truth! And it's like quite amazing. That's a fun game. Oh, hey, look, it's an Ampharos. But it doesn't have the fabulous hair, so I don't care. Away! I wish I remember more about Pokemon anime. I forget so many things about so many old shows that I watched growing up.
Yeah.
I'd say by comparison it's odd that I remember more about other shows, but then again I've actually had the desire to rewatch other shows. It's like, well, Pokemon, it's like hundreds of episodes,
Yeah,
and it's like, well, you don't have to watch them all. And I'm like, well, you're right, but each of the seasons in and of themselves are also pretty long. Like XY, Killer's Quest, XYZ, that was already, like, I want to say, like 70 episodes, maybe more. Up until right now. So, yeah, it's always hard to pick and choose. And I'm like, what about the other shows? I remember them totally fine. I remember most of their details. And it's like, well, I just watched them. It's like, I'm like, why do I still know everything about Dragon Ball? And it's because about, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago? I don't know, this was back in the other house, though. That one, I watched Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z there again in their entirety. And GT, actually. I think I watched... What was the order? I don't even remember. I want to say I watched it Dragon Ball Z, GT, and then Dragon Ball. Basically, I watched all of them again in their entirety. And so that's why it's still so fresh in my head and I remember so much about it. It was a fun show. And then there was also Yu-Gi-Oh!, which I remember a lot about, but once again, I had just watched GX a few years back in 5Ds not too long ago either, so I know a lot about that. By comparison, I have no desire to watch the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. I think because it was so much more campy. I feel anyway, a lot more cheesy. From what I remember, it wasn't terrible. I just don't want to watch it again. If I was ever to watch Yu-Gi-Oh again, I'd just watch GX again. Or no, 5Ds. Because that one is amazing. It holds the spot of my favorite anime ever. Of all time.
Really?
Yep. I mean, I haven't watched that many animes, but of all the animes I've watched, Yu-Gi-Oh!
What?
5Ds is like easily the best. Like nothing else I've watched comes anywhere close to how good that show was. So, you know. It's what happens when people care. It's like people tell you, oh, I want you to write a story for an anime about people playing card games and deciding the fate of humanity. Cool. It's like, alright, well, let's make it really, 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 really dark and serious and make the characters have crazy death and, like, death, not death. Although there was death. People did die, but death. And, you know, just make the show fantastic. They didn't need to. I really feel like they didn't have to make 5Ds as good or as serious as they did. But holy shit, did they. So, props to them. Amazing. And then the dub got screwed over. I don't know. From what I have listened to, the dub doesn't sound too bad. The issue with the dub is merely that they didn't dub at all. That's basically it. So, you miss out on a lot if you don't watch it subbed. You know. Just because they took out a bunch of story in the dub. So, yeah, that's the one situation where I'd be like, if you're gonna watch this, watch it sub. Not to be a jerk, but because the dub literally ripped away a lot of its content. So, don't do that. Don't watch that. Don't. Do you have a favorite anime? Ever of all time? Red vs. Blue quote?
Let me think.
Let me think.
Yeah, because I watch a lot. I still watch anime, not as often as I used to, but I have watched a lot. So I'm not. The one I can think of most recently, Erased, was really good.
Erased?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's
Was it recent, like it recently aired, or was it recent?
It was recent. It's a murder mystery with a little time travel in there.
Ooh. Time travel.
Yeah, you know how.
Oh yeah, there was time travel in 5Ds as well. What do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty important. That said, it's like time travel is one of those things where it's like, you probably don't want to do this, or you don't want to get involved because it's one of those things where almost everybody does it wrong.
Yeah.
It's like we live in a world where one of the most popular video games ever was fucking Chrono Trigger, and I don't get it at all. Chrono Cross is superior in every single way, but you know it was a time travel game, and I assume because people like it so much, I did time travel right. I did play it, and once again, it's like okay, it was fun, but can I go play Chrono Cross now? Anyway,
well,
what?
I know the most interesting time travel anime I watched was Steins Gate. That one was a pretty good twist in it.
I heard about. Oh, whoa.
Oh.
Tyranitar. What's up?
No.
Steins Gate. I heard about that one.
Yeah, it's really slow at the beginning, but once it picks up, oh my god, it's just adrenaline all the way to the end, really.
Yeah, that's very much. I like that kind of stuff.
It's got it has its own little twist on a few things. It does the butterfly effect, and it uses real life scenarios, like the whole conspiracy of, I think, some secret government or something trying to create this black hole experiment and whatnot. And the famous John Titor that supposedly was a time traveler back in 2005, 2006, or something like that.
I don't know. I'm not too familiar about conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
But it does.
There was a lot of that.
Time travel. Time travel.
It's really tricky.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things where if you could get it right, it's pretty cool. But a lot of people fuck it up. It's like, I think it's really funny that people were not too happy with Final Fantasy 13 for many reasons, and then the sequel is all about time travel. And it's like, wow, you took this universe and this concept that people are already unhappy with, and you added time travel, one of the hardest things to get right, and you got it wrong? Are you really surprised that people don't really like this game that much? Like, seriously.
Yeah, it is in there. I was just joking.
Still has their fans, but I'm just like, I took one look at that and I'm like, yeah, no, not even gonna bother.
Yeah, honestly, when I first saw 13 on as trailers, like that looks rather boring. Honestly, the combat system looks rather boring.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. You don't do anything half the time.
Yeah. Then I'll watch Big Sis playing like what is she even doing? Then most of them are like just automatic.
The game even like tries to tell you that, hey, you can set this up so that it plays itself automatically.
What's
And I'm
the
like,
point?
exactly, what's the point at that point? Like, jeez. I have so much to worry about in all the games that I play, and I like that I have control over this or that. And I'm playing so much Xenoblade, oh my gosh. So much to do. Like, I was support. You don't stop doing things when you're support.
Yeah.
And I hate being support. I hated it. Because it's dumb. You buff and you heal and you don't do any damage. It's stupid. Support
That's
sucks.
The point.
The only reason I was support is because it sounded cool. The weapons, it gave you a ray gun and a knife, and I'm like, that sounds interesting. But I just hated it. I don't like support. I don't like it in any. There's no game that's ever made me actually like support. The only thing that I liked about it was the fact that I was the one keeping the team alive. So I was able to do a lot of fights that in other situations I would have lost simply because everybody died, because I was healing everybody. And so it's like, if you don't be support in Xenoblade, then no one's support. Because your comm buddies will do whatever the fuck they want to do. You know, so it's like they're not actually going to care. And it's like, it doesn't bother too much. So it's like that game, you have to walk into a fight ready to win. Because you can't depend on your buddies to heal you. Because they probably won't. They might at some rare occasion, but more often than not, you're on your own. So, and I'm totally fine with that because I've handled it a lot, very well. I've yet to fail anything super hardcore. Most of the issues that come when I fail is simply because some of the but some of the missions in the game put you in places with a bunch of strong enemies surrounding you. Like, really strong. Like, I'm level 40 and this area is full of level 50 enemies. I'm like, I couldn't beat any of these guys. And then this quest you're doing spawns a level 30 guy right in front of you, and it's like, oh, I could beat him. And so it's like, you have to fight him, but the level 50 guys are still in the area. And if you or one of your buddies fires a stray bullet and hits one of those guys, they're gonna come over and fuck your day up. And that happened to me yesterday, and it sucked. But, you know, what can you do?
Imposter.
Why is he fighting you? I thought he was happy that you were here.
He's an imposter. An admin.
Dr. Marshall. He's not an admin, he's a doctor. Like, get his position correct, yo.
God damn it.
PhD! And he has an electrode. Self-destruct. Self-destruct.
No.
Self-destruct. Self-destruct. I was thinking something funny about Pokemon Coliseum. I never played that. Stadium. Pokemon Stadium. When you boot up Pokemon Stadium, if you don't do anything, it goes to like a demo mode and shows a Pokemon battle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Pokemon battle, it goes like a few turns, but nothing ever really gets accomplished because the Pokemon are super weak and shit. One time, I was watching the demo reel and it was an Electrode fighting something, or a Voltorb, I don't remember. And it used self-destruct and it killed itself on its first turn and killed the enemy, and then the field was just blank. And then went back to the press start menu after that, and I thought that was pretty damn hilarious because I'd never seen that happen before. So, a lot like the flying Growlithe, it's totally random. Don't know how it happened.
That crit.
That crit cheese! Whatever that means. Pokerman, Pokerman, Pokerman. You play Pokerman. So the I don't remember what I was gonna say now. I don't know, I was just thinking about animes in general, because I obviously have not watched many. I did, there was a time where I watched a bunch of them, but it was the type of watching where I would watch an anime, I'd watch like 5 episodes, and I'd be like, cool, and then I'd go away, and I'd be like, I'll come back and watch another one later. 5 years later. Alright, I never finished that. Oh well. Like, seriously.
That's usually me when watching new anime. It's like, I'll give you 5 episodes. If you cannot, if at 5 episodes, if you cannot impress me, then I'm dropping you flat.
Yeah, I hardly drop stuff because I don't know. I always feel like so invested in the way that I'm like, I need to see how this ends. I don't care if it's shitty right now, which is what happened with Shotgun no Shana. That thing turned into utter shit in the 3rd season. Like, it started shitty. The first episode was like, this doesn't make any sense. This is not what would happen. I don't know why this is happening. And by the end of it, I'm just like, that was not worth it. I really should have dropped it. Like, there were like 3 or 4 different times in the series, in the season, where I was like, I should probably drop this. And I should have, because I would have been much happier, and it wouldn't have stained my brain with its horridness. But it's like, I don't like dropping things, even though I obviously should. In that case, it was incredibly obvious. I don't know why I didn't. But yeah, beyond Shotgun no Shana sucking, I didn't watch a lot of anime anyway. My friend in school, actually, back in high school, he convinced me to read a manga. What was it called? Damn. Oh, Flame of Recca, I believe. It was a pretty old manga. He convinced me to read it, and I'm like, okay, I guess I will. Man, it was great. It was pretty great. And I watched, and he's like, oh, there's an anime too. I'm like, cool. From what I understand, though, the anime does not cover the entire manga. It only covers, I think, up until the end of the tournament arc. And I was like, okay, well, I'll watch it anyway. I watched, I think, the first 3 episodes. 3, 4, something like that. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then nothing.
Yeah.
And literally, like, I'm not even kidding, a few years later, I think I was in college at this point, I'm like, I should go back and see that. And I watched 1 more episode, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And that's it. I've yet to go back and watch. It's not like it was terrible, because I love the manga, and it was straight up, you know, just like the manga. So it's like, I don't know. Whatever, I guess I just don't watch anime.
Have you seen Black Lagoon yet?
No.
I always recommend that for you. It's like, that's pretty much right up your alley.
Probably would be. I should check it out. It's just I get so many, I don't know. There's a lot of times where I'm over there and I'm just like, I have nothing to do, and I'm like, what do I do now? And what I end up doing is most of the time when I am convinced I have nothing to do, is that I just what's the word? Oh, I like find a best of Achievement Hunter or a best of Game Grumps video, and I just watch it. Even if I've seen it like 10 times already, I'm just like, well, I guess I'll do this because I got nothing else to do. And I should probably just hop onto Netflix and watch something.
But yeah, Black Lagoon is great. I personally like the first season more than the second. The second one kind of dropped off at the end for me, honestly. Like, I just wasn't interested in that girl and her... what do I call it? Like, I can't think of the word right now.
Monkeys.
But the OVAs were great, though. And they came out a couple of years later after the anime, but they got their original cast back. Just
cool.
Yeah.
OVAs are weird. I've seen a few for some of the other animes I've watched, and I was always like, what's the point of these again? You know, some of them are very strange. I need to... I went back to watch not the OVA, it's not an OVA, it was actually like a special. They released like a 2-part anime special for an anime I watched like years ago. And I'm like, oh yeah, this exists. And then I clicked away. I would like open it up in the tab on the internet, and I would go do other stuff, and then like 6 hours later I'd be like, I should probably, oh well, and then I close it. And I do the same thing multiple days. I finally watched the first part of the special, and I'm like, cool, I should watch the second one now. And then I didn't. I still haven't. So I should probably check it out. Just because I already watched the first part. Might as well finish it off and see how it goes. It's not like it was terrible or anything. It just didn't have my favorite character in it, so. Had my second favorite character in it, but my favorite character wasn't there, and that hurt me. At least I don't think she was she? I didn't see her. Nope, I don't think she was there. And I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna watch it. No, she was there. I don't remember. I seriously don't remember. Whoops a daisy.
Oh yeah, I forgot the name.
Oh, and we're fighting him again. Been a while. He's got a sand slash.
Yeah, it's like, wait, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to fight the rival soon.
And there he is.
Turn on the animation.
Man, Psybeam just keeps confusing everything. How much of a confusion chance does it have?
I think it's something like 30%. It's pretty low, I know that much.
And you're just lucky. There's some things I wonder, because Pokemon I have always come with moves that clearly are supposed to help each other. Like these two moves, but it's like I never use them. It's like in concept they sound really interesting. Like my my Magneton, my Magnezone, both of them that I caught came with Lock On and Zap Cannon. And so it's like Zap Cannon's a very powerful electric move, but it has a shit chance of hitting. Lock On makes it so your next move will always hit. So it's like you do one, then you do the other. Never have I done it. I've never ever used both moves.
Yeah, it's very situational.
Together. And it's like, I hardly even use Zap Cannon on its own. It's gotten to a point where I eventually just took off Lock On because I wasn't using it. It's like, I'll just flip the coin with Zap Cannon when the time comes. Oh, hey, it's my Sunkern! It finally happened! The dream is real! The Sunkern has arrived!
I was gonna say something but like, nah. And now it's
Aw, you ruined it. So wait, he had a Sunkern, a Sandslash, a Coughing. What else?
I was like half paying attention, honestly.
Oh well. I don't know which one of these was his starter, but they're all dead now.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Fucking how powerful is self-destruct?
Very powerful.
Why did you lose? What do you think? You sent your last Pokemon out to kill himself. Get out my face. What was he even doing here?
Team Rocket.
Jeez.
Oh. There's actually... Well, it's not really.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it also reminds me, I haven't watched Hellsing yet either.
Helsing? I
Yeah.
thought you did.
Yeah, no, I was gonna watch the, because there's two Hellsing animes.
Yeah.
There's the Hellsing anime, which has nothing to do with the manga. And then there's the Hellsing OVA, which is the manga, but it moves. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's sticking exactly to the manga.
Similar to like Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, I've been trying to, I watched like the first 4, maybe 5 episodes of the OVA way back in the day, and they were awesome. But because it's an OVA, it has a shitty release schedule. It's like 1 episode every 3 years. So it's like, oh, well, fuck me. I've forgotten about it, and I believe that it's done now? That it actually went to the end of the manga, and so it's done? I could be wrong. My point is, I need to go back and rewatch that, because it was really cool. I always did enjoy the Hellsing manga. I read the whole thing. I thought it was great. That fucking manga has so many, what's it called? There's a lot of times where one character just talks for like 30 pages.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the mangas were showing, all the panels are showing stuff happening, and it's just one guy going on a really long, really religious speech. And it's just like, there's so many words. So many words!
Not again.
To be completely honest, while I did read the entire manga, as in I actually clicked through all the pages, I skipped most of those speeches. Like, I opened the page, and it was literally a bunch of indecipherable pictures of blood and gore, and just walls of text, and I just read, like, I skimmed it, and I'm like, click. You know, and that's how I went. And even now, after I finished it, I still say it was a great series. Pretty damn awesome. Great characters. I like everybody that was in it. What was her name? Like,
I loved everybody who was
yeah.
in it. What
I'm
was
trying
her
to
name?
remember.
Oh.
Like, I think I have it. It's just I'm not entirely sure, because of course Alucard is the main vampire. Suras is the police officer turned vampire, who she gets really awesome by the end. Pip Bernadette is the I believe that was his name, is the mercenary that they join up with, that joins them at one point. I can't get her his name is Pip though. What's her name? The woman who's basically Alucard's master. For some reason, I feel like her last name is Helsing, but I don't think it is. I want to say it's like Gertrude or something like that. I don't remember. I really sucks that I forgot her name. She was cool. I liked all the characters. I just can't believe it. Once again, it has been years, so I feel like I should be excused.
Yeah. I get that feeling too.
Even if like 5Ds. Then again, 5Ds was more recently, so it's totally understandable that I still remember everyone's names in that case. You know, best cast of an anime ever. So also best children ever. So
yeah,
rock that shit.
Actually,
that should be a reward, honestly, for like
what?
you know they're always giving awards for like best animation, best story.
Yeah.
Especially like best children characters, because that's a really hard category to win in, I feel.
Yeah, it is.
Children suck almost all the time. It's like, why do you even have a child in this? What's your dealio? Why are they here?
That actually reminds me, like, I've been reading this one manga that kind of dropped off, because, like, I forgot it after a while. It's like, I'm gonna wait till, like, there's more pages, because I believe it updates once every month at a certain time. It's a Black Butler, and I haven't been back to it, so I can only imagine how many chapters there are. So, like,
Oh, that one's still going?
Yeah.
Cool. What came
I
first?
honestly-
The manga or the anime?
The manga.
Cool.
I honestly don't know where it's going though.